The number one station in the streets. 94.9 The City.
Hey world, it's your boy Chico coming to you live right here, 94.9 The City. Welcome to the Boombox. Real topics, real people, real conversations. Today we have a dope guest joining us today. My man all the way from Jacksonville, Corey Duval. Corey, what's good, my brother?
Chico, what's happening, man? Appreciate you bringing me on the show today, bro.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. This young brother right here is a black and successful entrepreneur that does missions work from the United States all the way to Africa. We're going to touch on that a little bit. But I want to talk about his journey on how he got there and chop it up with you a little bit, man. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You grew up, born and raised in Jacksonville, correct?
Yeah, so I grew up in Jacksonville. For everybody that don't know, I'm 38 years old, so that means I was born in 1981. Grew up in Jacksonville, Florida. Typical city, you know what I mean? Like little country city. I always had dreams and aspirations, just being something greater than my average surroundings, man. And that's kind of like in a nutshell of growing up in Jacksonville.
I like Jacksonville. The few times that I've been up there for different events and whatnot, it's been a good time. You know what I mean? Very big though. Like like it takes.
You need a car.
You need a car. Yeah, you can't walk nowhere. You can't just say, "Hey, I'm gonna walk over there soon." You know what I mean? Like you gotta jump in your car, and it's a 30-minute ride to everything. Landmass is crazy, man, but it's a good time over there, man. It's different. It's definitely different. Definitely a different vibe.
Yeah.
And so you own a couple shops, correct?
Yeah, actually, I own two shops. One of them is a barbershop. It's called Hollywood Cuts Barbershop. I had this shop. We're in our 4th year of being open right now. I'm located downtown Jacksonville, Florida. Nice. It's a 4-chair shop, very, clean, boutique style, more character shop.
And what's the other one?
The other shop is called Lux Hair Studio. It's a women's version of Hollywood Cuts.
Nice. So you got something for the men, you got something for the women.
Yes, right next door. I wanted to keep it separate, because a lot of times those energies, salon life and barber life, they don't mix up. So I wanted to keep those environments a little bit different, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some shops, growing up and everything around here. They had one that used to where I used to go and watch, people cut hair, whatever it's called, Intrigue, and they had men and women in under one roof, but they had like kind of a wall dividing them. You know what I mean? You had to walk in through the doorway from one to the other, but it was very interesting because I'm like, they making it work, but not everybody can make that barbershop salon things. It's not like the movies, like people think like the barbershop movie where Ice Cube, in the later movies, he has like the salon side on one side. It's a conflict of interest. A lot of ladies don't want to go walk through a men's barbershop to that side and have them see what they look like without hair and eyebrows either.
Right. I mean, shoot, I'm a barber, and sometimes I get tired of being in the barbershop. So, I mean, you think of women going around that all the time.
Right. So then you created 2 different spaces, but one ownership under one umbrella, obviously, or whatever. So how's the support been?
The support has been really crazy. As far as I can say, for the Hollywood Cuts brand, it's grown. It's grown to be something that now is at the point where I need a bigger shop. I'm going to keep the main shop, but now I need a bigger shop. I need somewhere where I can house at least 8 barbers because the brand is a household name in the city now.
Right.
And I want to just utilize that brand and just build on top of that to where it's more like a regional, or it's more like southeastern, at least like this half of the United States. I want to start building like that. And as far as the support for the Lux brand, every time I see somebody that know about it, they damn sure holding me accountable, boy, because they be like, when the salon open, when the salon open, when the salon open.
Right.
Like, they don't care about nothing else. They're like, when the salon open. Is the opening salon yet? You still opening the salon?
Right.
Well, anybody that knows something about business, anything about opening these barbershops and salons, guess what? It never opens on the day you say it's going to open unless you just God helped you and he was there building that shop with you, because things come up like zoning things.
Listen, man, my first shop took me 6 months. The one after that took me 2 weeks. The one after that took me 2 weeks. It was a learning process, but that first one was 6 months. I hit every single road bump, and it was supposed to be okay, I'll be open in 30 days. 30 days turned into 90, and 90 into 120 and so forth. So I feel you on that, brother. Now, you had a trouble pass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You was in and out of little stints in jail and stuff, little encounters with the law.
We call it New York. My granddad used to always say, and it's a funny joke, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna get too deep on it, but my granddad used to always say, well, yeah, made a trip to New York. You know what I mean? Because if you was gone for a minute, that's where you was at. So it's a little vacation in New York. A couple of little. I've been to New York a few times.
Nice. Yeah, I mean not nice, but what your granddaddy said. That's cool. Yeah, and those are little learning experiences, right?
Right.
But they've been sort of little tarnishes on your record when dealing with individuals, like going to get a lease for a building and stuff. They look at your background and stuff like that. So was that kind of challenging for both locations?
Actually, for the first location, it was a challenge because it was a process that they drawed it out. Like they didn't really question the finances or none of that stuff. They was like basically we taking the risk on you by leasing you this place, and I just threw in a bargain. I'm like, listen, man, I give you an extra $1,000, and I guarantee you I'd be the best tenant you ever had.
Oh, they forgot all about your legal record there.
Yeah, it was like $1,000.
Yeah, right.
It's 4 years, so apparently something right.
Right.
And I got the location for my salon next door with no money, nothing. They just gave me the key, and it's like
crazy, the power and influence of money, man. They'll forget about all your mess ups after that point. You know what I mean? So but you were you come from a good family, right? You had a good mom, and you had a father that was present. You know what I mean? What kind of guided you on the other path? Is it something that intrigued you? Is it something that you weren't getting some sort of attention or something like that?
Yeah, well, the main thing I could say that really like introduced me to that world was when my mom and my stepdad separated. They didn't divorce, they separated. So
that father figure in the house type.
It was the environment, let alone the father figure not being in the house. So we moved from a place to where we weren't directly affected by some street drugs. You know what I mean? We didn't see that kind of stuff. We just hear about it on TV. So when my mom and my stepdad separated, we went to live in an area. I'm 16 years old. So
it's probably something she could afford on her own at that point.
Right. So, we went to that area, and it was just like, wow, like, this is a whole world I didn't know about.
And that's 16. You're in your prime, like, as a young adolescent. You know what I mean? You just, you're still in a way going through puberty and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because they say a young man goes to puberty around 13, 12 years old or whatever, but I don't think you fully are done going through puberty at 16. You're still going through it. Your voice is still breaking and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So here you are, at a crucial time in your young adulthood, and your environment changes. So you think that had to do a lot with
I think it had a lot to do with it, and then the other aspect of that was me being bred as a businessman from start. Like, I'm genetically created to be in business because of who my granddad is and was, and who my father, you know what I'm saying, is. Like,
right.
It was just destined for me to be a businessman. So I look at all those tribulations as it was like I had an early training phase in an environment that was conducive for no excuses. So I learned a lot of principles early by being in the street world that I apply to my business now. That's very monumental for me that I could use, some of those same characteristics without the illegal aspects of it.
Right. So you go through your little trials and tribulations, right? As a lot of us do. You hit some bumpy roads. But somewhere down the line, you straighten back out.
Yeah.
And that's what that businessman kicked you back in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And said, hey, this isn't for you. You know what I mean? We got something for you. We got something better for you. That might have been God talking. I always feel like it's God talking to us. You know what I mean?
Well, it's God.
Right? And he says, Corey, let's get back to your fundamentals, which is a businessman, right? And you snap out of it. What was your motivation behind that? Besides just, okay, God, talk to me. Was it something that you saw that said, whoa, or there's something life-changing, or you just got fed up? Or what was it that triggered the inner you to come out and say, hey, it's time for me to shine now?
Well, most of the time with men, you know what I'm saying, just shoot straight. With men, a lot of times we don't want to do shit until it's motivated by a woman or it's introduced by a woman. You know what I mean? And I think the positive influence that a great woman can have on a man's life is just, it speaks volumes. You know what I'm saying? So at the current time in 2013, I was with a woman that, you know, she meant a lot to me, and she spoke a lot of life into me and into who I was, and to help me see my purpose. So she was like, why won't you go to school to, you know, be a barber? Like, you're really good. And, you know, I didn't look at it like that. Like, all right, I'm gonna take it to the next level.
Right.
You know, because I was in film school at that point in time. So, I went to school, you know, I listened to it, man, and I went to school, and bro, that is really like just changed my life. So I could attribute like that decision being made to really like one person, you know what I mean? And the support behind that one person is my granddad's voice that's in my head telling me not to do the stuff in the streets no more, to be a barber, because when I was 15, he put my first pair of clippers in my hand, you know.
I can imagine your grandfather just saying to you, Corey, remember who you are. Like some James
Earl.
Earl.
Like this.
Yeah,
it's more like this. Let me tell you how his voice sounds.
Because your voice is deep,
Like,
brother. Like,
yeah,
you got that James Earl Jones voice, man. It's deep. So I can imagine like Mufasa talking to you. You know what I mean?
Man, it's more like like he has his own character. So it's more like, boy, Corey, I don't know why you won't go cut hair. Barbers make good money. Mr. Mac make good money. I don't know why you won't cut no hair. Start selling that.
Yeah. Got that old country soul.
Yeah. Why you won't cut no hair?
So you heard him talking to you.
I still hear him.
Nice.
Yeah, I still hear him. And honestly, his voice is the voice that keeps me sometimes from like, you know, going back to the.
He's your
world.
inner conscience. He's became your inner conscience, your guardian angel. He's the one looking over you, and that's the one you can revert to and listen to and remember, right? So here you are. You decide, hey, I'm gonna be a businessman now. You open a shop, then you open up another one, and you've been doing great. I mean, I've met you at different educational seminars. I've met you at some seminars that I've been conducting. I've met you and seen you at different ones that we both were in attendance. You know what I mean? So we've bumped heads several times throughout the years, and you know, it's always great seeing you. It's always great sharing conversation with you.
Likewise.
We've had some great conversations. Steel sharp as steel, you know, and we've stayed on top of each other, and I appreciate you on that. Now, what intrigues me is that you've branched out and said, my work isn't just here in the United States. I want my work to be worldwide, and that's something, you know me. If anybody knows me, you know I always. Worldwide is my brand. Worldwide boom. Worldwide boom. Worldwide boom. And I actually started using that slogan way before I started traveling. You know what I mean? Just speaking it into existence subconsciously, right? Worldwide boom. Worldwide boom. And then the more I used it, the more I started getting booked for different events nationally, then internationally. And it became, you know, my thing, and I live by that, worldwide. But then I saw you doing that, the same thing, and I said, this brother figured it out. Yes, you know what I mean? Yes. Now you starting tapping into different markets, and you said the hell with the United States, and not that there's nothing wrong with the United States, but you saw something bigger,
yes,
and you wanted to return to the motherland.
Yes.
What was your motivation behind skipping, you know, doing something locally, let's say in Florida or any other state? Because I mean, you've been to all the shows already. I mean, I've seen you in dozens and dozens of shows, you know, participating and judging and educating. But what made you say Africa?
The main thing that made me say Africa was I'm an avid traveler, and that was one of the biggest things on my bucket list. Just not even have to do nothing with barbering.
Well, you did Dubai this year too, though.
Yeah, that was for my birthday.
That was just your birthday.
I just
okay.
went for my birthday.
Nice.
You know, not to downplay that, but
right.
Dubai's experience couldn't even compare to Africa's
really?
experience. Yeah. Dubai was more of a creative experience. You know what I mean? Like a cultivated experience. Like Africa was more organic experience for me, and it allowed me to really like open my mind up fully. You know, so what made me really go to Africa was just, you know, one of the things on my bucket list, and everything else with how social media works gave me the contacts that I needed to set that up. And
nice.
Then it just kind of like happened. You know what I mean?
So that was just something that just sparked in your mind. Said Africa. That just spoke out to you more than anything.
Yeah, Africa visiting there was one thing, but there was a second tier part about it after building these relationships over there that I was like, I could do an event over there. It's like, you should do it.
So you connected with some brothers on the internet before actually going out there.
For the last couple of years.
And that's the power of the internet, man. That's the power of relationships. And we talk about that in my book, titled Success from Behind the Chair. And we thank you. And I talk about relationships. One of the chapters is how important relationships are. And the fact that, like, the new generation, right? Because we're pushing damn near 40, and I say the new generation as early 20s, the millennials or whatever. They have these tools that we didn't have growing up. You know, we were catching tadpoles in jars. You know what I mean?
Man,
and running around outside barefooted playing street football. You know what I mean? And whatnot. But now they're glued to their phones. Like, nobody doesn't have a phone anymore. Like, there's no excuse right now, right? Yeah. Everybody has a phone. I've seen little kids with phones. They have two phones, right? I got two phones.
Yeah.
And they have all the tools necessary to become more at an easier level, I might want to say, because I think it was a little harder for us. You know what I mean? When we were growing up, we started with Ataris and regular Nintendos and prehistoric. You know what I mean? And beepers and that sort of thing. But you used it as a tool. You said, forget sitting here liking everything. I'm actually gonna reach out, connect with these brothers, and you connected with some great people over there.
Mm-hmm.
How was it, going from the United States to Africa, and as a black young brother, your feet touching that soil? How did you feel? Like, that's your ancestors' land. That's your land right there. This is where they took you away from. You know what I mean? Now you're coming back for the first time. Tell me about that energy that you felt. I know you felt some sort of rush, something in your blood, something in your vein. Was it emotional? How was that, like, setting foot in Africa?
It was the happiest experiences I ever had in my life. The most welcoming, the most love I probably ever experienced from a people, and this is very grammatically correct, a people that I thought that I didn't know. All the way just from the welcome of you walking out the door to, the anxiety of them on the other side, like, hey, are you coming out? Where are you at? Like at the airport, like, it was just a whole build up to, like this musician in the airport. Welcome to Ghana. Welcome home. Like, everybody smiling, like, welcome home, brother. Like, hey, hello, like, just the nicest people in the world. I've experienced so many different airports, man, and I can tell you that most of the time when you're dealing with TSA, you're dealing with the security checkpoint, these people are trained not to be nice. I think they just train not to be nice, so you don't get that same feel. Like, I literally had to ask it. I was like, y'all are smiling, y'all are happy. I was like, but y'all are supposed to be securing, securing. It was like, we are not worried. And it was just like the most beautifulest.
It was a peace, calm.
Yeah. It was like total, like peace. Like, I didn't feel like.
You give me goosebumps. Just imagining it right now.
I just went back there. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, you were just back again recently.
Yeah, I went once, so we're about to go back. Actually, in the next 4 weeks, we're going back on this event I created called the Ghana Barber Summit. So that first time was just to really, like, be the front runner and, like, explore the ground, so I won't take people into situations. I wanted to experience it first,
right,
before I lead people somewhere.
Right. That's amazing, man. I mean, that's just incredible. Did the black African man or woman, a people, right, treat you any different from being a black American?
It's a double-edged sword. And I'll give the cons before I give the pros. So the cons about it was, because you're African, quote unquote American, you're associated with wealth. You're not associated with the resource, quote unquote, wise that a true African would have, as far as like their kingship and all of the true, cultural values of Africa. But as an African American man, they look at you like wealth. They like just money. You know what I mean? So if you're not careful, you will be in situations where people try to take advantage of that because you know you have it, and they know that the currency is cheaper over there, so you're more willing to spend a lot more there.
Right.
And understand. And so that's the negatives. You know, some people may try to like get over on you because they like, even though you're black, I mean, I can raise the price on you. You know what I mean? Versus somebody who's there, they wouldn't dare do that to them. So I did have that experience happen. Luckily, I had somebody with me who caught it, and they was just like, "No, we're not shopping with you." No, you know. And in retrospect, the positives. I mean, man, it was so much positive. Like people just couldn't believe that I was just there, and I just wanted to help them. You know, the gratitude was just through the roof. You know, and the fact that, like on the movie Coming to America, when the dude was like, "Baby, he got his own money." When I say he got his own money, and the dude's face was on the money,
right?
It's no better feeling in the world to touch money that is a black face on.
Wow.
I mean, imagine. I mean, from your cultural background, like say you're what, Hispanic?
Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican. Say you're. My apologies. Say you're Puerto Rican.
No,
so,
Hispanic.
So okay, so
same.
you're Puerto Rican. So imagine you picking up the money, and it's all like Puerto Rican. Like there's no other race or culture on it but that.
Well, I get that sense from the peso. Let's say, for example, in Mexico or Colombia or whatever like that. I get that same sense just being Hispanic. Period. That there's a Hispanic leader on that bill, that currency. You know what I mean? So I get that. That's the funny thing is that when you go to Puerto Rico, right? Puerto Ricans for some reason have this this attitude that there's Puerto Ricans from Puerto Rico and then there's Puerto Ricans from America. They treat them slightly different. They do. You know what I mean? They do. They don't.
Same difference.
They don't consider you. This is my problem with Puerto Ricans, right? They don't consider you a real Puerto Rican unless you were physically born on the island, which is total, bull, if you ask me. You know what I mean? That's like saying you're not really African because you were born in America.
But
so we're gonna ignore the whole blood. We're gonna ignore the fact that why you were even forced to be born here, right? We're gonna ignore all that. You're not really African, but I don't think the African look at the African American like that, do they?
So in a somewhat sense, because my bro, he told me we was making a joke one day, and I was just like, bro, I'm gonna blend in today. And I was like, he was like, how you going to do that? I was like, I just put on some Ghanaian clothes. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of like rough my hair up a little bit. And I just will either like make an accent, I won't talk. Right. He was like, bro. And he sounded just like this. Bro, they know, bro.
They know, huh?
He was like, they know, bro. I was like, what you talking about? He was like, cuz, man, you got that ice on you, bro. I was like, what you talking about? He's got that ice on you, bro. And I was like, man, what you talking about? You got that ice on me. I was like, dude, I don't wear no chains.
Yeah.
I had on my watch and, like my little diamond earrings.
Right.
Like that.
Right.
So he was like, nah, bro, you got that ice on you. And that shit hit me. You know what I'm saying? It was like, bro, the sun done beat you up, bro. It was like, we know if you're real or not. Because
skin different.
The skin difference. I'm too light to be what was considered as a true Ghanaian. Right. You know what I mean? They would already know.
Wow. But that still didn't stop them from treating you good.
No.
Because they're just genuinely good people. In the same way as the Puerto Rican people for the most part. They're good people, you know what I mean? You go over there to Puerto Rico and
they showed me love.
Service sucks though in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, they showed me
service
love.
Sucks. There's nobody there singing no music. There's nobody there that even wants to attend to you. Everybody's glued to their cell phone and they're more worried about what's trendy and what's not. In Puerto Rico, you guys suck in service industry. You guys need a class.
Like my Cuban experience.
Bro, and listen, I'm the proudest Puerto Rican that you could find, but I'm just speaking facts. You know what I mean? There's going to be some Puerto Ricans that criticize, oh, you went to the wrong. No, this is every single time. No, I said, listening. Right. I said it. My father said it. You know what I mean? It's horrible, horrible service. You're waiting 45 minutes, an hour to get your food. Nobody. Now, I'll tell you what they do have, though. Culture, mannerisms, good morning, good afternoon, good
hair.
evening, good hair.
Yo, look, I went to Puerto Rico for my birthday 2 years ago.
We got good hair. We do got good hair.
Yo, I don't care what economic class or status you was
They
in.
all got a fresh haircut, right?
From the women to the kids, they had some of the most beautiful hair I've ever seen.
Hey,
bro.
we appreciate that.
Like for real.
We appreciate that. No, we listen. A haircut's cheap over there, though. You're talking like $7 for a haircut. You know what I mean? Everybody better have good haircut, a good hair period over there. But you know, like I said, it's give and take. Certain aspects, you know, like the service completely sucks, and they're you know, a lot of them are lazy. They don't want to get up and move. I was waiting on a charter plane, and this guy was literally texting in a golf cart. And I'm waving him down. He looks up, looks back down, spends another 15 minutes just to come tell me that I missed the charter plane by 5 minutes. And I'm like, you lazy, fat, If you would have got up 15 minutes ago when I was waving you down, I wouldn't have missed my charter and have to sit here for another 2.5 hours till the next charter plane came. That's the nonsense I don't like when you go to Puerto Rico. You see what I'm saying? But again, cultural, they have a lot of mannerisms. Good morning, good afternoon, very polite in that sense, and that's all walks of you know, economic background. You know what I mean? Rich or poor, they're polite in that sense. So I'm glad that you had a great experience over there. I'm glad that you got to connect with your people. What are some of the misconceptions of the African people?
Wow. All of them are misconceptions. It's propaganda.
And when I say the African people, include Africa in there too, as a whole, Ghana as a country or whatnot.
I'm
you know what I mean?
Africa as a whole.
Yeah, as a whole. What are some of the
American media is a cruel thing.
Deceiving.
Wow, at how they can just do with our little minds from the time we're a child to the time we're an adult to squander the resources of some of these other countries and keep them under more so as a free oppressive places, you know, continents. So a lot of these people are somewhat oppressed by the government, right? But then you have the American media that comes in place and blasts these images and content that says, hey, these are not great places for you to go to. So like, as far as like just the misconception of how like the media portrays this role to us Americans that, oh, you know, like it's so much poverty in Africa, or it's kids, you know what I'm saying, with like flies on their eyeball, like starving anorexic.
Like I seen you hanging, like you were staying at a very, very luxurious hotel down there.
Yes,
like
yes.
It looked better than the Ritz-Carlton in Naples over here.
Yeah, I was staying at the Quarley's, man. It's like a residence, man. Like, and that place was lit. Like, I'm talking about top of the line. Like,
I saw, and you know what I mean. And that's some of the stuff that America doesn't show you. You know what I mean? They want you to think of Africa. Well, let's clarify this. Africa is a continent. For
exactly.
a lot of people think that Africa is one country. Africa is a continent with multiple countries. You know what I mean? So that's what I think a lot of people don't understand. They look at, when they think Africa, they think Lion King and a bunch of people running around with you know, with their boobs out and sticks to their nose. You know what I mean? That's not Africa. We're talking about Africa as a whole. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's certain parts of Africa where, you know what I mean, they have their tribes and traditions and stuff like that. But what America doesn't show us are those luxurious hotels and the type of people you were interacting with. I mean, I saw some of the barbershops that you were going into.
Yeah,
like some of the
shops.
Some of those shops are nicer than some of the ones I've been to over here, and cleaner.
Yeah.
I go into some of these shops, you know, because I do a lot of coaching and consulting for different business owners and shop owners and stuff like that. So I go into the shops, I do private seminars and a lot of other things like that. And some of the shops I go into, and the neck strips on the floor and the hair and these like they just haven't cleaned in weeks.
Too.
They had those too.
Yes, they had those too.
But you know, you go to somewhere like Africa and you see a cleaner shop than what you see here. It's a pretty good feeling.
Those too. Now they definitely. And the ones that were bad were bad.
Did it look like something you see at the USA flea market in Miami back in the day?
It was bad. It was bad. You just be like, man, you know, like wow, people. But outside of that though,
right?
I just want to say the level of resilience that the Ghanaian barbers have Like, bro, these people, they live and die by barbering. You know what
Wow.
I'm saying? Because a lot of these little boys are being saved from villages. You know, like my homie, like he teach barbers, you know, age of 9 and 10 years old, how to be, you know, barbers. These guys are like in extreme, you know, like poverty situations. So
Is it a respected craft amongst the African people versus the way it's looked at over here in the States, or is it something similar?
we struggle with the same issues.
Because I don't feel like they respect us enough. They just, oh, you just a barber.
Yeah, we struggle with some of the same issues, but I can say it's respected more in the barbering community because it's more. You know what I mean? Like, it's power in numbers. Like, it's a lot of barbers over there. You know.
Now, being that you're American, did they look at that as, you know, he knows something, we can learn from him? Let's pick his brain. Like, everybody was trying to pull you in every direction. Because there was, in a sense, that it was like that in Spain when I went, and in China, and in Mexico and Colombia. These places, they love American culture. They love American barbering, what it is. You know what I mean? And not that their system is anything less, because Europe has by far some of the best barbers that I've ever seen. And some of the work that these barbers do with just shears alone. Like, you're talking about someone that's give you a skin fade with a pair of shears, no machine. The talent is extraordinary. You know what I mean? So but it has nothing to do with that. They love American culture, American barbering. Was it the same way in Ghana?
Yeah. I mean, you got to look at that level of just like them being in a system where they don't have to get certified or licensed.
No, they don't.
And us, it's a mandatory. You know what I mean? We have to be states licensed before we can practice.
In some
this
places,
craft.
in some places, they're trying to do away with the whole licensing thing. You know what I mean? That's like, that's bad.
Tough.
That's gonna. I feel like it's gonna deteriorate our value. You know what I mean?
Or make our value go up for the ones who have integrity.
True. I feel like an apprenticeship is not the way to go, and I don't feel like it's enough. You know what I mean? When you're talking about getting certified to mess with people's skin, you know what I mean? Like hair and skin and nails and all the other things that we do. I just don't think an apprentice, because what if the person that's your, your master barber, mentor, teacher, instructor, the person you're getting mentorship from, what if, they cut corners? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just don't think it's enough. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that you didn't need a license in
you
Ghana.
don't need a license. So the good thing about it is, just like you said, when you travel to these other places, man, they already had a plan for me damn near before I even got there. I had to meet with the president of the Barber and Salon Association. This is like real.
So they do have an association.
They do have an association, which is a good thing. They trying to build a foundation, but the main key that's needed is me or you that came over there and actually cared about the infrastructure of the system to be able to implement a curriculum that's honored by the United States Education Board. So that way they want me to create and associate with them exchange program. An exchange program to where it can be a training facility on site in Ghana, where it gives them the education, and we can create a program that they can come to the United States and be able to work on visa, so they can be in better conditions and they can earn more money, so they can be able to send back. And then it gives barbers an opportunity to see another culture on our side. So that's like the long-term goal of it. Like, they already said, you're building a school over here. They already like lining up some stuff.
Nice.
It's like
nice.
Getting a lot bigger than what I thought it was.
Nice. And that's what happens. You know what I mean? That's part of your grandfather's voice talking to you when he told you, Corey, you know what I mean? He can make a respectable living as a barber, and now here you are, you're touching ground in the motherland, expanding your horizon. That's a beautiful thing, Corey. That really is. What does the average haircut go for over there?
In Ghana?
Right.
So their money is cities. It's CDEI, it's Ghanaian cities. So just to give you an idea of the economic difference versus American there. For every $1 we have, last time I checked, it was 5.87 or 5.61 of their dollars.
So a dollar goes a long way over there.
It goes a very long way. It goes a long, long way. So Average guy charged $2 to $3 per haircut. So they cut 15 heads. You know what I mean? A day. You know, like they ain't really making. They make what we make in one day on one haircut.
Wow. But what's the living situation over there like? What's the cost of living over there? What's the
for us? I mean, for us, it would be cheap.
I mean, going over there. I mean, because I seen some. Like again, I saw some of the barbershops. They were nice. I saw some of the hotels. They were nice. So there has to be some sort of money rolling in there, right?
It's a lot of money and it's a lot of commerce. But the thing that I found out is a lot of foreigners control the wealth. So the true people, a lot of the times, don't have the wealth. But there are a lot of very wealthy African people that are there. But what's happening is, it's just like any culture that's able to capitalize. It's the Asian culture. They're very strong over there. So
I think they're strong everywhere.
Yeah, they're very strong. They have a community over there that knows how to capitalize and create wealth off of that place. But yeah,
how's the food over there?
Amazing, good.
What are they eating over there? What's a typical
fufu?
Fufu. What's fufu?
Yeah, fufu. So fufu is like a dough ball that's in like a bowl, and it has like the soup around it, and it either comes most of the time with like either goat or fish or like something like that, and everybody eats with their hands. So a lot of times they may have one big bowl that they put in the middle of the table, and everybody just kind of like eats from it.
Eats with their hands.
Yeah, they eat with their hand with some specific meals. I mean, they were like very, very clean, so they got like wash bowls and all of that stuff like at the table.
I always felt like when you eat with your hands, it was a sort of connection that you had with the food. It tastes better, right? Like when I go to like an Indian restaurant and they give me utensils, I say, no. I want to eat like you guys eat. And they and their eyes light up, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you wanna eat with the hot naan and you know what I mean, and dipping the breads and these sauces and this rice and stuff. But that's what I like, you know what I mean? So I've always felt like there's a connection with the food, and the food is the fuel that goes into this vessel that God has given you on this short journey called life. You know what I mean? So I always felt like it was something important about eating, and let alone eating with your hands. So they all get together and they start eating the fufu with their hands.
Yeah, you get individual trays. Only thing about me,
that sounds like mofongo. You know what I mean? Like
mofongo is good.
Mofongo comes with different meats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know,
when I was in Puerto Rico, I actually got a seafood mofongo.
Yeah.
No, it was trifongo.
Oh, trifongo. That's I think that's mofongo and yuca mix. Next time I eat a mofongo, I'm gonna do it.
Mofongo, yuca,
and another one is
plantain.
Yeah, it's another plantain. I think next time I eat mofongo, I'm eat it with my hands. I'm gonna try see what that tastes like. I'm gonna pretend it's fufu. You know what I mean?
But the only thing about it was I didn't get an opportunity to experience the full cuisines because I'm pescatarian. So over there, it's either you one or the other one. I mean, they have a lot of vegetarian dishes. I would compare Ghanaian food to like almost like a Caribbean style.
Really?
Yeah, Caribbean. They do a lot of rice, which is jollof. They do rice jollof. They do a lot of breads, and a lot of grilled meats.
I wonder if the reason why Puerto Ricans and people in the Caribbean eat rice, maybe that, I don't know if that came from Africa. You know what I mean? Maybe it did. You know, I could see where the foods would be similar, because if you think about it, there's 3 races that make a Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? It's African, Spaniard, and Indian. You know what I mean? So our food is very diverse. We have a lot of different foods. Like, I know for a fact we didn't have pigs roaming in the island, but you know, pork is an essential part of our culture now. You know what I mean? But that comes from the Europeans, the Spaniards that came over with the African slaves to take over our land or whatever, and then the 3 races kind of integrated and whatnot. Right. But I wonder what parts of the African diet did we incorporate? The rice might be one of them.
I think a lot of them, man. Really, I think a lot of them just come from probably the lack of resources to be able to get a more affordable or more sought after or delicacy in food. You know, because rice is cheap. You know, beans is cheap.
Right.
So it's almost like we continuing of some of the foods that some of the slaves ate. Some of the
absolutely.
Some of the like our ancestors ate.
Absolutely.
I don't know what American struggle food is, but I know the base food for a lot of these cultures. If you look at Asian culture, the base of their food is rice.
Right.
Hispanic, the base of the food, most of the food is rice. Italy, and then there's more so like dough and baked goods.
Right. That's a very interesting question. I never thought about that. What is the struggle food for an American? What would it be? Hamburger helper. I might have offended a couple people. They're like, "Hey, I'm having hamburger helper tonight." You know what I mean?
Pizza
I don't know. It's not delivery. It's DiGiorno. I don't know.
It's ramen noodles.
You know what I mean? Ramen noodles. I don't know. But what is American struggle food? That's an interesting question. I'm gonna do a little research on that and find that out. What is it?
That's a good question.
I mean, America has so many diverse. Like think about it. Some of America's number one comfort food, let's say, doesn't even come from America.
Pizza, French fries, hamburger.
Pizza, and hold up. Let's not forget Mexican food. Mexican food
yes, you're right.
has made an impact on U.S. cuisine.
It has.
If you go to any restaurant, it doesn't even need to be a Mexican restaurant, what do they give you as an appetizer? Chips and guac. Chips and salsa. Chips and guac, chips and salsa. I went to a restaurant the other day. Wasn't even a Mexican restaurant. Had all types of different cuisine on there. You know what I mean? But the appetizer, again, chips and guac. We all know where chips and guac comes from. You know what I mean? So, Mexican food is like you can't go nowhere in Cali and the West Coast and, Texas and Colorado without eating some Mexican food, even here in Florida. You know what I mean? So I don't even know if the United States has a food. Oh, I think hamburgers was invented here. You know what I mean? But I don't know what else is really an American food. Pizza comes from Italy. Spaghetti and meatballs.
I don't think America really has.
It's a melting pot.
Yeah, I was finna say America doesn't have culture, but God,
many cultures.
It almost leads you to believe like we the swagger jackers. You know what I mean? Like, we the culture vultures.
Oh, we definitely.
You know what I mean? Like,
America as a whole definitely is, man. Like but again, I think that's a beautiful thing, though, in a sense, if you look at it from a different perspective, right? Yeah. I mean, we get to eat different. We could be in any country at any given time at a dinner table at home, right? You know what I mean? We want Italian, we have access to Italian. I think we're spoiled in that sense.
But not in the sense of like, and vice versa. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
A lot of these cultures don't have access to all the foods.
Yeah. Well, what does another culture like eat and they say, hey, I'm going to eat American food. You know what I mean? Like we're going to do American tonight. What's it going to be? I know, but one thing I've noticed that when I go anywhere that I've gone,
that's so funny,
right?
We're gonna eat some American food.
Yeah, what do they eat? They don't have a set thing that you can say. I mean, hamburgers.
But they say it on the menus. They say American cuisine though. So what the hell is American cuisine?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what breakfast in another country called the Americano. The Americano is 2 fried eggs, okay, bacon, toast, and coffee. That's the Americano. I think some places will throw pancakes in there and perhaps some sausage links, but that's the Americano. You know what I mean? That's their typical big American breakfast, and Americans are known for big breakfasts, while in Europe their small breakfasts is what is what they're accustomed to or what they do. You know what I mean? They don't do big breakfasts like we do. You know what I mean? So that's called the Americano. But I mean, I guess that's a typical American dish, right? 2 fried eggs, some bacon, and I don't know. I don't know. I gotta do a little more research on that and find that out. But that's very interesting about the food though. I like that. I
didn't get to eat it though. I didn't get to eat it. Oh, be careful when you listen, people. When you go to Africa, just be careful. You're gonna have to take a anti-diarrhea.
No way. Why?
For America, and our gut and the bacteria that our body produces is not strong enough to be able to sustain a lot of these foods when you're traveling internationally. Especially if you're not experienced travelers, if you don't go to places like India and all these places that have these different spices and different ways that they prepare their food is rich. You know, the food is really rich, and these spices, man, I'm telling you, when they hit your stomach, boy,
Really?
they're gonna break it down.
So
Everything
you
is
had
gonna
to
be broken
so
down.
you had to take a medication prior?
Not prior. You just when you feel yourself getting like you're not stable. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna take care of that, and if you don't, you're gonna be unstable for. About
So
3
what do you
4
have to
days.
take?
Anti-diarrhea medicine.
So you take an anti-diarrhea medicine that they give you there, or is it
You got to
before?
get it prescribed from your doctor with the anti-malaria medication. It's just a pill you take
So you take the anti-diarrhea, and you didn't have any issues while you were there?
once.
What? How long did that last?
It was a day, thank God.
Oh my gosh,
My
a whole
situation-
day?
My situation was light compared to everybody else I heard experience it. Some people's was like 3, 4, 5 days, like horrendous situations, bro.
So you had a whole day
Yeah.
of diarrhea in Africa.
Yeah.
So here you go on the whole other side of the world.
Yes.
And
It's
you-
gonna happen. It's gonna happen to you.
It's gonna happen. So even with the medication, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen because guess what? You're gonna eat the fruit. It's not pesticides. Everything is just
natural.
Like, everything is natural.
Wow.
Just like when you go from eating meat and you go to a vegan diet, your body's gonna start just like.
You see, that's the thing with me, and I always say that for a lot of people that don't know, I'm vegan, right? But I'm vegan for a reason. Well, I'm about 90% vegan because I do cheat with fish every now and then. So I say I'm 10% pescatarian, if there's such a thing, right? So my thing is the reason I stopped eating meat was for medical issues. You know what I mean? I was having bad headaches. I saw a nutritionist, which happened to be Dr. Sabi's wife before anybody knew who Dr. Sabi was. A couple years ago. Before the whole Nipsey hustle brought awareness to who he was. Curtis Smith, he's the one that hooked me up with his wife, so forth. So I go on this diet, stop eating meat or whatever. But I feel that if we go back to like biblical times or whatever, that meat was safe to eat. You know what I mean? I feel like the reason why I was having some of those side effects and stuff was because of the stuff that they put in the meat, how they treat the animal and how they kill the animal. You know what I mean? During its lifespan. You're talking about a chicken that normally takes 6 months naturally to develop. You know what I mean? From the time that it's hatched out that egg. Naturally takes 6 months. Now they're developing these chickens within 45 days to hit your plate. You know what I mean? Some of them, their skeletal structure can't even support their body weight because they're growing at such a rapid rate, and they're focusing on the breast, right?
And they're releasing so many different
chemicals.
The animal is releasing chemicals. You know what I mean? Just by not being
right, and it's acidic to your body, and anything that's acidic, it's bad for your body, and it gives you all these type of health issues. Now, I always said that if I went to a different country where I know for a fact that animal was raised naturally, 100%, I would eat it.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
So you're going to see some chickens running around when you go over there.
Yeah, see, that's the chicken I want. That's the chicken I want. I want the chicken that my grandma used to, or my aunt used to take out the backyard and hang upside down by the legs and make them throw up and then chop the head off and pluck them. That's the chicken I want. I don't want the chicken that comes in and the bag says Tyson on it. You know what I mean? That's not the chicken I want, So you're saying take the pill, eat the chicken?
Look, I'm just safe. I just play it safe. If you know your body, man, traveling overseas, if you know your body, just play it safe. That's all I'm going to say. And if you go to Ghana, it's just a little sauce on the side. Just listen to me. Please listen to me.
Don't eat the sauce?
It's good, but just
be careful.
In moderation.
In moderation?
That sauce is gonna do a number on you. Trust me.
Now, did you go to Ghana? Was it like coming to America? You go to Ghana, and did you meet the woman of your dreams? Did you see some beautiful women that said, "This could be my wife right here. I could be the head of the tribe"? And was it anything like that?
So, I didn't know what to expect.
I saw some beautiful people on your feed.
It was a lot of beautiful people. As in a whole, the people are beautiful, but it wasn't like you would see more like a everyday, like, let's just say 5 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. If you in Miami, you're gonna be like, dang.
I see.
Oh, man. Baby. It was more like, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you didn't find your queen out there yet?
No, I didn't.
There's still hope though. You're going back soon.
Yeah, I mean, she might be from like the UK or something, flying in like me or something. I don't know. But there were some beautiful women around. You just gotta look. You just gotta like they not hanging out like you would think they hanging out like that. Because the women that are hanging out, they are working and trying to provide for their families.
Right. Well, shout out to all the people in Ghana. You know what I mean? And
Yes,
and,
welcome back to your return.
Yeah. You're definitely invited to the Boombox if you guys are ever in the area. Anybody listening out there in Ghana? Corey, I'm very excited for you. I'm very proud of you. You know, you took your life from negative circumstances. You know what I mean? You had your encounters with trouble, and you built a mini empire around you. You have a solid team. You have supporters, people that are rooting you on every single day. You're the type of person that I admire, being a minority. You know, you're not making excuses. You just said, hey, there's a different way. I'm going to straighten up. I'm going to make it happen. Your grandfather's living through you. I'm very impressed by everything that you've accomplished. I wish you nothing but luck and prosperity and health in this whole journey that you have in Ghana. And I look forward to working with you, you know what I mean, and doing big things. Tell the people where they can follow you at.
You can follow me. And thank you. Before I even say where you can follow me, I just thank you, man, because I done seen the journey, bro. And, like, seeing the same boom that had on the bubble vest, you know what I mean? Like, had on the bubble vest at the barber battle, you know what I mean? Like, to hear, bro, like, just God is amazing, man.
He is.
God is really amazing.
Well, he's working through both of us, man, I think, from different angles and bringing us together as he's always done, you know what I mean? So I think that we're going to be doing some big things, and hopefully I could be out there in Africa doing some mission work with you. I mean, people don't understand that you're doing a lot of mission work. This is missions work at its finest, and that's what you're doing. And again, I salute you, brother. But tell the listeners where they can follow you, so they can check on your journey as well.
Pretty much, it's pretty straightforward. If you just Google Corey Duval, COREY DUVAL, you'll see all the platforms. On Instagram is I am Corey Duval. IAM, like literally IAM COREY DUVAL. And in my bio, you'll see my brands: Hollywood Cuts Barbershop. You'll see Lux Hair Studio. You'll even see a tag to the Ghana Barber Summit. Whatever else I got going on, man, it's pretty much self-explanatory. You can just Google Corey Duval.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Corey Duval, all the way from Jacksonville. This man literally came from Jacksonville to be here live. And in fact, I gave him the option to Skype or FaceTime, and he said, nah, boom, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it big. I'm going to do it right there live in person and let the people get the whole feel of it. And my brother, it's great having you again. Thank you so much. And there you have it, people. It's the Boombox right here on 94.9, where we have real topics, real people, real conversations. I hope Corey's story motivated and inspired some of you Black and Latino brothers out there that might be going through the struggle just the way he did. And if you are from any walk of life, just know that when you put your mind to something, you could be anything and do anything that you want. If you believe it, you can achieve it. And this is a true inspirational story, motivation. If you want to get out there, travel, this man is backing himself up. He has no major corporation backing him. He's doing it on his own. Self-made, self-paid entrepreneur. People, if that's not motivation, I don't know what is. You know what time it is. You know what it is. It's the Boombox right here, 94.9. Boom, baby. This program was brought to you by Elite DNA Therapy Services, a comprehensive approach. Visit them in Fort Myers and Cape Coral. Also by the Black Sheep Men's Parlor for the gentleman who enjoys being different.